Hello everyone, Tiniestofchibis here, and we are back with Twisted Wonderland, reading reenactment. Should be doing episode 11. Currently in the middle of cooking, so if you hear some weird noises, and I'm also gotta mess around with the dishwasher, like take stuff out. So you might hear some noises in the background while I read. And while I could technically hang out in my room while I cook, I'm trying to keep my shit from all over the temp, because I'm making fideo right now, so I'm trying to keep it from fucking sticking to the bottom. Well, it's probably fine. I'll probably just turn off the heat and let it cook in the thing itself. Are you all done mashing up your golden fruit? Next, all your ingredients together and mix the solution evenly. Give it exactly 10 first stirs. Any more or any less, and the effect will be diminished by half. 10 stirs, got it. Nice and even. Which number was I on again? 7. Stop after you stir it 3 more times. Wow, you kept count? Thanks. That's a big help. Spade, you're doing too half-heartedly. If you don't get it thoroughly mixed within 10 stirs, it won't work properly. Got it. It's not like it looks any different. You can't exactly tell if you're doing a decent job or strings or not. Hal, stop smacking the stirring rod against the sides of the container. You can't use brute force with this. Can't take my eyes of any of you pups for a split second. It's astounding just how stressful this is for me. Just trying to scrape off the bottom part so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the thing. How are you faring, Roseheart? Exactly 10 stirs uniformly from the outside, from the bottom. Gently, exactly 10 stirs uniformly from the outside. At least one of you is doing it right. Riddle, your eyes are crazy bloodshot. That's some serious focus. Housewarden and Riddle, you need to blink! For the next step, take the drinker's hair, that is yours, grind it up, and add it in. So, yeah, so this is like where, Riddle could have done one potion at a time, or all 4 at a time, depending. I think it probably 1 at a time though, and add it in. And this part where you have to add the drinker's hair. Well, each of them could pluck a hair, or I just have to pull a strand of hair. Sure, out. Okay, now add it up and grind it up. So you just need to grind 1 hair from the drinker, or who's going to be drinking it. So each of them could grab a strand of hair, put it in I think it's called a masa, and then they can grind. Then Riddle could grind it. Don't move the pastel around that quickly. Even the slightest friction heat can affect the final product. I already ground mine to powder. Are you kidding? My hair won't grind down at all. A matter of thickness, I suppose. Yours doesn't look to be as fine. What should I do in that case, sir? You'll just have to grind harder, but try to avoid adding more heat. This is a delicate product, so treat it with care. Man, that kind of work. I'm worst at. So I'm like, what does it matter? Again, I don't see. The only thing that's of concern is whose hair is going to be added into it. So I don't see why Riddle couldn't have done every single potion. There's no mandatory that they have to do it all at the same time. Roseheart used to be doing well. Grind down as firmly and finely as possible, but without adding heat. Housewarden, blink! So again, Riddle could have done that. He had to have 4 different things to put it in, but that would have been fine. Lastly, channel some magic. Oh, it changes color. That means it works. Now in this part, again, well, I guess this would you would need 4 different pots. for each of them. So again, somebody could have made it, stirred it, and then this point right here where you have to add your own magic, you could have had the boys put their own magic. Ooh, everyone's potion changed color. That's a relief. I'm not sure how well it turned out though. Fingers crossed that it works. That's definitely a unique smell. Is this really safe for consumption? Go on and drink them. You'll disagree. Your degree of success will be apparent from how long your hair grows. Let's all take it together then. Here he goes. Go. Go. And again, they wouldn't have to drink it all together. What a weird taste. It occurs to me we just drank our own hair. That's quite freaky. Like, you can make a My Hero reference here. You should see your face. It will take some time for the potion to take effect. In the meantime, here, get changed. Goodness. You even procured outfits for us on such short notice. You provided the details I expanded upon and perfected them. It wasn't easy throwing all of this together in a hurry, but I'm rather pleased with how everything turned out. Since I couldn't take your measurements, I eyeballed it. You'll have to do the final adjustments yourself. Final adjustments? Where would I even start? Relax, I called in some backup. Backup? He means me. Oh, there's a comic where somebody made like a joke, and it had Crudely like blowing on a horn. When he got, it's like, Doo! And then Rook, Phil, and Apple are kind of together, and Phil is messing with Apple, and he's all like, I'm being called, or something like that. Maybe I'll link to the comic if I remember. The faculty reached out to me. So now I'm here to provide adjustment tips to get you Spuddlings at least somewhat presentable. I also bought some ootable makeup to go with those outfits. Here, take it. Sewing kits and makeup kits? Thanks a lot, Bill. Indeed, you should all consider yourselves lucky to receive lessons from yours truly. I expect proper gratitude. The adjustments will take time. All of you get to work. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everyone said. What episode was this? I think it was 11. Yes, it was. Alright. The video's coming out, I think. Alright. Hopefully. It looks good. So yeah, I think everyone could have just had Riddle or Crudely make it until the point where they had to add the hair. Probably, no, make Riddle do it because then he could add the hair. And then all the boys would have to do was add their own magic into it. So I don't see. So yeah, you would still have to have the user input their own magic, and they would have to use their hair, but you wouldn't have to be. Wouldn't have to be the ones to grind it. They would just have to give it over, and then at the final step when you had to add your magic, and then they would have to really mess with it. I feel like that would have been a much better result, but And here's Camille, which, mind you, I like the way Camille's hair is right now. It's very neat. I do enjoy it. I want to say, like, I have an OC whose hair is probably about this length, I give or take. Okay. I'll change. I really like these bright greens, I gotta say. The hair is growth potion's amazing. One moment my scalp feels all itchy, and the next I've gotten a super long hair. When I checked myself in the mirror, I was looking at a stranger. What are y'all doing? Get out of my room. I fucking love the way Jack looks here. Fucking reminds me of Inuyasha and shit. I love it. I have one of my coworkers who I showed pictures of Jack, and she likes Jack, so she's all like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I know, right? He looks good. Scrape that off the bottom of my fucking spatula. That outfit and the hairstyle are both solid on you, Camille. Though I agree, having my hair like this is pretty weird. And I have another OC who isn't quite there yet with this hairstyle, but I think it'll be about, just think, give or take. I generally trim it short so it just doesn't feel right. And it's a pain getting this outfit on with all these decorative elements. Couldn't make heads or tails of what this bit of cloth was for. How was I supposed to know? It goes over my shoulder like a sash. No kidding, so many parts of this outfit were totally unfamiliar to me. My hair kept getting in the way while I was trying to wrap this shawl. Threw me for a loop when I was told it was supposed to go around my waist and not my neck. Phil, thank you for explaining so much about where the accessories go and how we're supposed to wear them. Teresa cruelly put these ensembles together. Personally, wearing them improperly would be entirely unacceptable. I appreciate the sewing lessons. The chest area was straining to burst when I first tried it on. Of course they're straining to burst. Boy is buff. Buff man. But once I followed your directions to adjust these buttons, fasteners, the whole thing got a lot more comfortable. Ha ha ha. I know what you mean. I never imagined I'll do hemming work myself. I was fine wearing it as is, but Vil was like, absolutely not. Sewing is hard. I pricked my finger so many times when I was taking in my collar. Moving buttons and patching holes seems easy in theory, but it was rough in practice. If you boys were more experienced, you wouldn't have to prick your finger or have to sew to start with. You only have yourselves to blame. Agreed. If you were more capable mages, you would have been able to easily resize your clothing using magic, just as Rosehard did. I would say it's because, well, Kamel doesn't have an excuse. Not really. Because he too is a second year, but... I don't like how this one looks. I might toss that later. The night sky, the sunflowers, and the birds soaring free. This is a beautiful ensemble that tastefully combines many of the motifs from The Princess in the Tower. Did I cook this right, I hope? Yeah, it looks really cooked. It's easy to move around and still remember, yeah, than yourself on this design, Professor Curly. I quite like the liberal use of the transparent granite chiffon. The way your cape shimmers as you move is truly elegant, suits your composure demeanor. And the hair. Is absurdly long. What happened there? Why is your hair so excessively long when no one tells us? All comes down to your potions. Rosehard brewed his to complete perfection. Good boy. That was superior performance. Thank you, Professor. That said, hair this long is very hard to move around. Though Deuce and the others braiding it for me makes it a lot easier. But it's still touching the floor. Sorry I couldn't do a better job with the braid. What are you apologizing for? If one of those books had included a passage about the princess using magic to do her hair, I was prepared to simply carry my hair around as needed. I'm grateful you suggest putting it in a braid. Yeah, it was a big help the way you kept giving directions on which side to braid it next. Plus, it was fun playing jump rope with Riddle's hair. Ha 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 ha. Watching you made me nervous, so you were going to end up stepping on his hair. We bumped into each other a lot while weaving in and out, too. It's lucky it turned out so well as it did. Reference to, like, when the little girls were playing jump rope with Rapunzel's hair. Hmm. Not as soft as it should be. It's more like a Dante, but it's fine. What the fuck? You know what? Whatever. Hunt each other a lot. But personally, I'm surprised you know how to braid hairdos. You even place the hair accessories at aesthetically pleasing intervals. Is hairstyling a skill of yours? I wouldn't call it a skill, really, but I dabbed in a lot of different styles back in middle school. Thanks for doing my hair too, News. You even wanted my headscarf just right. Not to mention how quickly you got a handle on your own hair. I'm surprised you were so good at it. Hey, I have an exceptional card soldier. It wasn't anything that hard, but I'm honored by the compliment, House Warden. I'm still struck on the fact that only Riddle succeeded in formulating the potion, though. It's deplorable that the rest of you would do so badly under my vigilant watch. Wait, you mean we botched it? After all Professor's release warning, I still didn't manage to mix it evenly. Can't believe my own hair tripped me up. I won't lose next time, though. I'll nail it. Please don't let there be a next time. Well, we didn't get Riddle's success, but our hair did grow out. I think we can make this work. Right. If we all got totally different looks, too, I think we can pull this off as long as we're in these outfits. Yeah, and I hope that this long hair and pink, purple outfits puts me in a little closer to being a princess. There's a confident chance now. Time to open the door. Nope. It won't open. Sleeping on the job. Pot. The door isn't budging. But I thought we could get out if we dressed up like the princess. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to have helped. This is troubling. I was so confident my hypothesis was right. What else can we try? Ah, that's the bell. It must be lunchtime. No wonder I'm getting hungry. Then let's have the meal Jamel made us. We can talk about our next steps while we eat. I didn't think about this before, but I really hope there's fucking ice packs in that basket that they were given. Because otherwise, that should be fucking sitting out with no cooling system or anything. And I find it absolutely disgusting that the food isn't refrigerated or cooled. Because you're only supposed to have food out for like a couple of hours without any refrigeration. Great Professor Crowley and I and Vil both went to eat already. I'm famished. And that's if it's a cool day. If it's a fucking scorcher day, then that can actually cause the food to go bad quicker. The faculty may have made an exception and granted us permission, but that doesn't change the fact that eating and drinking in the library is against the rules. I'll pass on the meal. And that's off. But it's lunchtime. Aren't you hungry at all, Riddle? So he's got a point. Eating in the library isn't exactly honor student behavior. I better pass too. I, on the other hand, did it. I may have been a good girl, but I was like, fuck those rules. I'm going to still eat. Because when I was younger, I would like bring myself some snackies and eat in the library because I was being bullied and I didn't want to be in the cafeteria. So I just went to the library and I was on the computer and I ate, like, nibbled on stuff. Just so that way I wouldn't starve. I'll probably have to hand wash this before I throw it in the thing. Set this aside for now. Just because Riddle says he doesn't want any doesn't mean you gotta follow his lead. It's up to each of us whether or not we eat. But I don't want anyone making our jobs harder because they're too hungry to act. Jack, don't be rude to House Warden Riddle. Come on now. No fighting. Don't worry. If you get hungry again, I can always ask Jamel to whip up more food for us. Here's your lunch. Eat up. Jamel's cooking is the absolute best. Thanks, but still, don't worry about me. Just make certain to leave the table no more than 15 minutes after you're done eating. Yes, sir. Sheesh, can't believe you're being a stickler for the rules at a time like this. At least it's after you're done eating. Because Lord knows it takes... Well, no, I would still be kind of annoyed because, like, what if, for example, you have more time? Where the fuck are you supposed to go? That was good cooking. See what I mean? Isn't Jamal's cooking fantastic? Absolutely. The spicy seasoned chicken was amazing. I wish I could have had more. The dessert was incredible too. All those different nuts gave it a nice crunch. What was that called? What was it again? You gotta ask Jamel later. Alright, all of you. If you're done eating, leave the table now. We've received no word of any solutions from the head mage, so we have to figure out what to try next yourself. Yes, sir. Let's move to that table over there. We imitated the Princess of the Tower's appearance on the assumption that emulating the story would lift the curse, but it didn't work. I reviewed our books while you were all eating, and there's no issue with our attire. That means, is the problem on the inside rather than the outside? Do we have to act like princesses too? Yes, I believe emulating the princess's behavior as described in the book is worth trying. Descriptions of things she did may differ from one book to the next. Why don't we each take a book and read it, and then compare what she did in them? Sure, alright. Reading like this reminds me of when I was a kid. My parents used to love telling me I should follow the Princess in the Tower's example and do my chores every day. I can't believe the princess really did all that cleaning, though. I thought my parents just made that up to get me to do more housework. Which, fair. I was wondering about this earlier, but you had never actually read The Princess in the Tower before? I haven't. My parents would just tell me it to me all the time when I was little, before I started elementary school. I'm surprised, though. I admit, though, surprised all the stuff you know, Riddle. I've thought you would be familiar with the story. Why would I? Since tales related to the legendary The Great Seven or the culture and origins of the cities are covered in textbooks. But I've never needed to familiar myself with the meaningless folk tales and fairy tales. Look, that wasn't criticism. Man, what a pain. So, going back to emulating the princess, we already did sewing, right? That we did. 3 of you used the needle and thread to adjust the fit of your clothes. And I added my flower decorations, I believe. It's just safe to say that we got the task covered. Let's see, what else? We can check out. Check off reading. Or four of us are doing that right now. Wait. To be fair, she probably did sleep, so they are also covering the possibility of also sleeping, so... Jack, I'm truly glad you're one of the people I'm stuck in the library with. If not for your diligence, I don't know what state I would be in right now. I was just thinking the same thing. If you weren't in our group, I would have flown off the handle by now. Do spade, Camille Alassim. You dare to sleep on the job. Have you finished reading your books? Sorry, House Warden. I read some of it, but I didn't get very far. Sorry about it. I was feeling so full, I just dozed off. Really now. Maybe it's just me, but like... So it's only supposed to be a few pages, right? If I'm reading a book I really don't want to read or, doing school work, it's not that hard to skim over it. I don't know why they couldn't skim over it if they really didn't want to read. I don't know. Maybe that's just because I don't know. I just wonder why. To summarize what I read, the princess did cleaning, laundry, cooking, sewing, and weaving. She handled all the chores by herself. My book said she makes snacks. Oh, and she exercised. I'm not sure exactly what exercise she did, though. Running, maybe? For someone stuck in a tower, that doesn't seem like she had a lot of space. But I doubt she had a gymnastic or coliseum worth of floor space. Judging from dimensions for her doing ballet and yoga, guessing her tower was as wide as Pearl Form's ballroom at the most. Though she could still do weight training without much room. That makes sense. You're saying her regular training regimen was what enabled her to escape from the tower unaided. The story says she was kept in a high tower, which means she have to go down a ton of stairs if she wanted to leave. That would take some stamina for sure. She likes game too. My books mention she loved puzzles, darts, and chess. She even enjoyed playing tricks. What kind of tricks did she play? That's what I want to know. Her routine only describes in broad strokes, like everything else. We have to use our imagination when considering how she engaged in her activities. My book also mentioned she played the guitar, painted pictures, and made candles and pottery. Yes, she strikes me as a highly creative type. My book also had a passage about how she often liked to sing to herself. Oh, so she liked singing and playing the guitar? The story also says she enjoyed dancing with people in town after she escapes the tower and went to her birthplace. I wish I could have invited the princess to one of my parties. I bet we've gotten along great. Probably. The princess got help from a thief who snuck into the tower. The thief then helped get her to the city. She danced hand in hand with the townspeople there, and the sun set. She rowed a boat out to sea. Also, she could have a perfect view of the mysterious light she longed to witness, countless lamps floating in the sky. That spectacle gave her the courage to see her parents again, and that's how the story ends. But is what she did after she escapes even relevant here? I figured we could just reenact up to where she escapes, and once we're out of the library, that'll be the end of it. That was my plan at first, but in the story, the lanterns were set out as a prayer for the prince's safety, right? If a lantern is what's causing this, that power might remain at work until we unwrap the scene within the lanterns in it. If we escape but the library still remains inaccessible, that would be a travesty. As the headmaster says, this library is the brain of Night Raven College. It houses a great many valuable books. However, losing access to them would be a loss for the whole world. Wow, you really fired up about this. I never imagined this place would be so valuable. I haven't thought that far ahead, but if you're right, Headmage wouldn't stand for that. Just imagine it. He'll be like, you can issue books through the window, yes? And he'll send us back in and make us work the checkout desk forever. What? That's ridiculous, but he'd totally do that, wouldn't he? It's difficult to rule out entirely, and that's the trouble. I don't want to spend the rest of my life stuck in the library. Likewise, for the sake of both the library and ourselves, it would be safest to reenact the whole story to its end. In that case, do we have a rowboat out to sea and watch the lanterns as well? These lanterns were set up by the princess's parents and the townspeople, right? Then probably wouldn't be proper reenactment if we send them up ourselves, wouldn't it? Oh no! In the story, the lanterns float through the sky every year on the princess's birthday. Considering the fact that a lantern similar to the one in the story appeared before us this morning, we have to escape the library, dance, take a boat from the harbor, gazing at floating lanterns, and do all that today before the date changes at midnight. Before midnight? The lunch hour just ended. That gives us plenty of time before midnight, right? It would if all we were going to do was imitate the princess going out to sea. The problem is the lanterns. We can't make a scant handful if we have countless lights. Oh, right. It's going to be hard getting a whole bunch of lanterns already to float while doing everything else, huh? But hey, couldn't we just ask the rest of the dorm for help? The students are part Slabial? Yes, sir. If they hear you're in trouble, everyone will pinch in to make as many lanterns as they can. Oh, that's a good idea. I should ask the guys in my dorm, too. I suppose that makes sense. The more people we have helping, the better. Let's ask the head mage to get the whole student body to make lanterns and send them flying. And that was 14. So, I have this idea that I'm going to do the first part of this here. And then, I'll have to recount it in a little bit. But the last 2 episodes I'm going to do are going to have 6 rather than 5 just to make up for it. So, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be 13. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, it works. So it fucking works. Though the last 2 episodes will probably be a little longer because they will both have a rhythm. Ow! Fuck you. You get no more fucking pets, jerkwad. You'll get the pets. You'll get all the pets now. Anyway, we're going to do this last one here before I call it our quits. Or I could technically call it a quits. What time is it? Well, I have been distracted. So it is kind of long. So I think what we'll do is we'll end this one. And we'll do 5. Well, no, we'll do 6, 6, and 6. Oh, because I'm distracted with food and shit. So this episode is kind of long. And whatnot. So, I'll probably also run some other stuff, but I guess for now, Tiniestofchibis is signing out.